Hold on, stop. Welcome back to the Shit Show 2.0.
Okay, Boomer.
Damn millennials. Wow.
Did not know that. Even flirters who are obviously mentally ill.
Oh, this is gonna go downhill real quick.
What is going on? And welcome to Take on the World with
Mr. I'm hungover. What? Yours truly, the one, the only, fatter than you saw before, Mr. Jonathan.
and me, Mike D. We were waiting on Lexi, but she is running late,
Pirate Jonathan.
and I don't know where she is. Hope she's okay. So what's going on? It's been a few weeks, bro.
It's been a minute.
I mean, we've hung out the last couple weeks,
It's been a minute.
but we haven't had a chance to podcast.
No, we haven't. Which we're pretty caught up. So
We still got one or two to go up. We got which one's dropping today? Oh, Glitch in the Matrix is dropping today.
we did another gear review. Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we did like two, didn't we?
Yep.
And then did a couple more beer reviews.
They're not up yet.
Did we do it? We did a roadcast.
Yeah.
That was the last one.
The roadcast is up. That went up.
That was fun.
Everybody seemed to like that. There might have to be a couple more of those road trips.
I was thinking we should do one out to Gettysburg. Hit Gettysburg up. Where was some other place I wanted to go? It was, oh shit, was it down to Philly? Oh, there's a brewery in Philadelphia. It's called Crime and Punishment. It looked kind of cool.
Oh, gotta check that out. Have
yeah,
to.
Yeah, just because, you know. And then there's also I think coming up this fall, or it might be all summer long, Eastern State Penitentiary has the tour, obviously, like they always do. But they also have a brew garden on the yard.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can taste, like, there's a bunch of, like, Philly.
Jailhouse hooch?
No, there's a bunch of, well, yeah, I wish. They're made out of Jolly Ranchers and brownies and
Toast.
toast. Some white bread.
There's also coming up in a few weeks, the Schuylkill County Brew Fest.
Okay.
I got my tickets for that.
Yeah, we should check definitely check the Philly one out. I think that'd be a good road trip. I know a couple good pizza shops down there we can go do. Good,
I'm not eating pizza.
Good,
Although I am eating these gummy
you
bears.
will.
I am eating these gummy bears.
You will eat the pizza, Michael.
I'm watching my grillish figure.
Oh, God, I've just been getting fatter and fatter. It's not working. Well, but anyways.
So, we're back. My youngest child has graduated. We had a graduation party last week, so we did our podcast last week.
Oof.
And here we are today.
What did we do the week before that?
West Virginia?
Was it?
Was it, or was it not?
I don't remember. I don't think it was.
I think maybe.
Whatever.
Either way, here we are. Got your hair of the dog there?
Yeah, God damn it. I don't often get like that, but I was a wreck this morning. Oh, it's like the back of my head. I could feel it in the back of my head and like right in my nose here. So I don't know if it was like a sinus headache or what. And I never take aspirin, but I have what the hell is it? Aleve. Their prescription. I've never taken any of them. They're 500 milligram Aleves, and I cut that in half, and I took a half of one before I came over. And so I had a nice car ride over here, listening to Mojo Nixon, and so I don't know. What do we got? Oh my God. Man, I am retarded.
Yes,
I told you I was going to be a piece of shit today. What do we got on the agenda today? What's our topic for today?
So today I was inspired to talk about one of my favorite people in history, Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla! Come on, Nikola! Not the love song singer.
Wait, what?
Just another love song by Tesla.
Oh. That Tesla.
Not Edison's Medicine by Tesla, but Nikola Tesla.
Nicola. Man, these things keep fogging up. I'm going to try and hide the big old black bags under my eyes.
Yeah, put them back on.
Maybe the camera will block them out if I put my stovepipe fucking redneck hat down a little bit further.
So, Tesla, believe it or not, can be credited with nearly 80% of the technology we have today.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like, this dude was a fucking... I remember watching, when the History Channel was actually the History Channel, and they, when I watched, they showed a lot of, like, World War II black and white video clips, and it was always, like, battles of World War II. And, then they'd have shit like the Tesla and whatever. It was just fucking fascinating how this guy was a straight up fucking genius.
Yeah.
And, it kind of makes you second guess yourself when you're sitting on the fucking couch eating Doritos and fucking slamming back a fucking Mountain Dew. Like, wow, what have I contributed to society?
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy to think that nearly everything we use, technology-wise, was based off of stuff that he thought up or patented, not directly, but a building block off of what he did.
Yeah. When was he born?
He was born...
Yeah, we're probably going to be all over the place here.
I don't know. Well, I didn't put down when he was born.
You idiot.
I am. I feel as if I failed.
You're a failure.
But that's easily taken care of.
I'm going to say he was born in 1876.
Let's see. 1876?
Yeah.
That sounds like Nathan coming home.
1876 to 89.
$18.56.
Oh, I had the 6 right. He would be happy.
1943, I knew that.
Oh, I thought he lived later than that.
So, he was obsessed with AC current in a time where direct current was much more prevalent.
Well, hold on. Let's even back that up.
Okay.
I think he was obsessed with AC current before electricity was really a thing.
Like, the one thing I saw is he had a dream when he was a child.
Yeah.
And it was about, I think, the generator they built up at Niagara Falls.
Okay.
So I thought that was it. Like, he had that dream when he was a child and spoke about it. And eventually it became, that wasn't really a share pack.
You killed the share bag.
Yeah.
That's the worst share bag ever. If this episode wasn't brought to you by Haribo Gummy Bears,
it should be.
Shame on you! Make your share bag bigger, you sons of bitches.
So he had a lot of idiosyncrasies.
What's that mean?
A little OCD.
Oh.
He had a preoccupation with the numbers 3, 6, and 9. He only stayed in hotel rooms that had the numbers that were divisible by 3. If he was going into a building, he would walk around the building 3 times before entering.
Oh, I did hear that, yeah. That's weird. That's fucking... I do know that he abstained from having a relationship with any woman because women make you weak, Rock. Stay away from the women, Rock.
Not before a fight.
They make you weak. But yeah, he did not have a relationship with women because he did not want that to take away from his learning and contributing and just studying. Because I would have loved to meet this dude. He seemed like a just. I don't know. What do you think? He was probably like so smart. He like was weird.
I think he was a little weird. He would make any decision based on whether or not the end result was divisible by 3. Everything he did was in sets of 3.
I'm sorry. Should I stick it in her butt or her pussy?
Yep, now I'm going to have to put it in the mouth, too.
That's only 2 options. That's not divisible by 3. I'm just going to go home now. I'm sorry. I can't be with you.
He knew that humans didn't create math. They discovered it. Math is a universal law and language. Doesn't matter where you are on the planet. 1 plus 2 always equals 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, where did he grow? He grew up in
Armenia, Romania, Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan?
Yeah.
How come I don't have that? I know I had it.
I know.
I pick you, John.
Maybe you drank a little too much last night?
No, this research was done 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
I know I had it. Did I not copy a page?
Hey, you know what? I don't like these long lulls because, like, I feel like we're getting to a slow start here. Like, I feel like something's missing.
What's missing?
I don't know. I just feel like we're just
Croatia. That's where he was born.
Really?
Croatia.
I had a friend from Croatia when I was in high school.
Yes, and that too. You get killed in my country.
No, that was the Russian guy.
Yeah.
No, this guy's name was Niksha. 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 And yeah, he had a whole bunch of scars all over his like shoulders and back, and from like the air raids and shit.
Ugh.
He said when he was in school, like the air raid would come over the siren, and he'd run out of the school, and he'd get bombed.
So I guess in Croatia there's compulsory service in the military.
We
have a podcast therapy dog in the house. The podcast therapy Coco.
What brings you down here?
I knew my daddy was down here, so I came down.
She came down here from me. So they have what?
You have
conscription?
You have to do 3 years service in the army, and I guess he had cholera, and his father.
I did not think you were going to say that.
What do you think I was going to say?
He had a huge dick.
Oh, yeah. So he couldn't spend time in the military because his dick was too big.
It was a liability. They could have got infected.
He couldn't lay down in a trench because he always stuck up. Raise the flag! So he said his father insisted that I spend a year in a healthy physical outdoor exercise, which I reluctantly consented. For most of his term, he just roamed the mountains and practiced bushcraft like John.
Yeah.
And read books.
Asscraft.
Yeah. And he said that this contact made him stronger in the body and the mind as well. So that could be Lexi getting her. He worked for the Edison Company in Paris. And while he was working there, they gave him an opportunity to move to America and work for Edison Machine Works. And his uncles helped him make the journey by basically giving him money to make the journey. But while he was traveling...
Did I give you these bags of foreskins?
You spend foreskins wisely. Not 5 skins, not 3 skins, but 4 skins.
They are very, very valuable in our country.
Not so much anyplace else. So while he was traveling to America, he got mugged, he got robbed of his ticket and all his belongings.
And foreskins.
So when he stepped on American soil, he had 4 cents, not 4 skins, in his pocket.
I did not plan that.
He may have had a foreskin in his pocket.
It literally says 4 cents.
Yep. So he went,
how many foreskins can I get for 4 cents?
So
where is the nearest Jewish rabbi? We shall power the earth on foreskins.
The power of the foreskin
compels you. Okay. So, anyways.
So, one of the people that worked for the Edison branch in Paris sent a letter with him that he gave to Edison, and when he met Edison, he gave him this letter, and this letter said, there are 2 great men in this world.
One is me.
One is Edison, and the other one is this young man here. You know, you should give him a job. So he did. He gave him a job, and while he was working for Edison, he helped improve more than 20 machines, replacing Edison's original designs. He was then approached by Edison and offered $50,000 if he could improve the design of Edison's DC dynamo generators.
Yeah, he was probably like, let me see that Lego set.
And he's like, well, you should be moving to AC current, and Edison's like, well, no, there's more money in DC because the DC dynamos, those generators, like, you'd have to have one like every other block in a city because DC power just doesn't go that far. It can't be transmitted as far as AC power. And so he was making money off of building the generators plus delivering the electricity. So it was more beneficial to him to not move to AC current.
Greedy businessman.
Yes. When I'm researching this, I found there's so much greed and deception in this era of time. Not that there's not greed and deception now; they're just better at it. They make they make you want to feed their greed, like Amazon.
God, I swear to God, I think Amazon's going to rule the world one day.
So it just took them a couple months to fix the problems that they were having and improve the generators. And when he went to Edison about collecting his $50,000, Edison laughed at him and told him, Tesla, you don't understand American humor. You know, that was a joke. When I said $50,000, I was joking. So instead, he raised his weekly pay from $18 to $25.
I don't think you understand Croatian foreskins.
Yeah, I don't think you understand how Croatia does things.
Put a bag over his head and kill him.
So Tesla quit the Edison company. And then
what?
He quit.
You said Tesla kid quit? What?
Tesla quit the Edison company.
Okay, I got you. All right. I had a brain fart.
You fucking drunk.
Don't contest me. It's not sharp, but it's pointy.
So he tried to start the Tesla electric light company, and it failed. He didn't really have much money, so he went about doing odd jobs, and in fact, he was digging ditches for like $2 a day, manual labor. But then Tesla found backers to support his research into alternating current, because if you could be competition to Edison, you know, if you could get to that level, you're going to be making some money.
I wonder if he thought in his head that, like, I know I'm smarter than this motherfucker. AC is way better than DC, so I'm just gonna bide my time and I'm gonna fucking bury this cunt.
I think Edison. If you look at a history of Edison didn't do. Oh, look who's here!
Hello. Welcome to the podcast, Lexi Lee.
You gonna jump in on the middle of Tesla? There's
Nicola Tesla.
So just to let you know, foreskin is currency in this episode.
Yeah, foreskin is currency in Croatia.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody should know that.
There are no rudders.
Yeah, there's no rudder.
There's no rudders, egg rolls.
In Croatia. Croatia has no rudders, egg rolls.
They need to get their shit together.
How could they?
So we officially welcome Lexi to the podcast. Welcome, Lexi.
Golf clap.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing up.
You're welcome.
Late.
Very late. They were having
A sale at IKEA.
they were having a surprise party for my best friend's sister-in-law up at their house. And
Lies.
no, it's true. And people started coming up, so we were like moving cars and stuff.
Here's what I heard. Blah, 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 blah. I was late.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
So we're at the point in Tesla's storied career where he just quit the Edison company.
Okay.
He came to America with only 4 cents in his pocket and some foreskins.
I was just going to say foreskins.
Yeah.
I see.
And we're in 1887 right now.
Okay.
And the years of 1887 and 1888, he was granted more than 30 patents for inventions, and was invited.
He probably didn't receive any notoriety for any of them.
Well, we will get there, John. If you would just hold the fuck up.
Because
wow,
Edison was a greedy businessman.
Oh, he was.
Yes, he was awful.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Edison took a lot of other people's ideas and improved on them. So, like, yes,
through Tesla.
Well, yeah, through people who work for him. So, like, a lot of the stuff that he has patented, we have 2 podcast Derby dogs today.
Yes, this one does not want to leave me.
He was sitting in his kennel like, I miss my mother.
He wouldn't come out of the crate for nothing.
He's good, though. He just misses mama.
And Westinghouse was the same way. They had these big companies. They were money men that would back up people who had brains. Not that either one of them didn't come up with their own ideas, but a lot of the stuff was borrowed, stolen, or absconded from other people.
Absconded?
Absconded.
Wow.
That sounds like a 17th century word, absconded.
It does. It probably is.
How dare you abscond me, foreskin?
You foreskin.
Oh, God.
You crumpled foreskin, you.
Don't make me call my cousin Rumple Foreskin.
Oh, my God.
So, after he got his 30 patents, he was asked to address the American Institute of Electrical Engineers on his work. And after that address, he was approached by George Westinghouse. Now, I don't know, have you ever been out to the Pittsburgh area?
No,
I have.
Never have.
There's huge Westinghouse buildings out there, which I always, like, every time I see them, I think, oh my God, that's from like the 1800s. I mean, they're not, but oh my God. So Westinghouse licensed the patents for his AC motor, gave him his own lab to work in. Westinghouse paid Tesla a sum of $60,000 plus 150 shares of stock, and this is the most important part, a $2.50 royalty per horsepower generated by his AC motor. And then a monthly salary of $2,000, which back then,
that's a lot.
That's a lot of money. Like, he was an instant almost millionaire.
Yeah.
The royalties alone were worth hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
Like, that's a lot now.
Yes. I would take $100,000 a year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's hundreds with an S.
Yeah.
Hundreds of foreskin $1,000 a year.
You don't understand American humor, son. It's not dollars, it's foreskins.
Did you hear me say that part?
No.
Where he worked for Edison. Yeah. We're going to go back a little bit because Lexi was errant in her duties. When he was working for Edison, Edison said, "Well, I'll give you $50,000 if you do this, this, and this."
Okay.
And it took him a couple months, and he did it. And then Tesla went to him for his $50,000. He goes, "No, you don't understand American humor.
Oh
I was only joking. I was going to give you a raise from $18 a week to $25 a week."
Wow.
And that's when Tesla quit.
Yeah, I would too.
And he quit and dug ditches for $2 a day.
I would too.
So now that we repeated ourselves because Lexi was late.
Yeah, I was late. Ali doesn't care. Why should you?
Ali cares. He was crying the whole time.
But I mean, like, he doesn't care that I was late now because I'm here. He forgot that I was late already.
Right. So, did you hear the part where Edison was all about DC current?
No, because she was late.
And Tesla was all about AC current?
I know about that.
Okay. But I didn't know because you were late.
Yes,
and
I was late.
All right.
I do know a little bit about this debacle.
So, Edison, all this work that he's doing with Westinghouse is generating a lot of excitement, new technology. They're starting to supply people with AC power, but Edison was not going to give up his throne of King of Currents, and he wasn't going to give up on DC power because he stood to make so much money from DC. Lexi, did you hear the part?
No.
Where we said that the DC power required a generator almost every block in New York, like every other block?
Yes.
Okay. You heard that?
Yes.
Okay. Just
I did hear
you weren't here.
because you weren't here.
No, okay. I didn't hear it from you.
Oh, okay. I see.
Touche.
Touche, senor pussycat.
But I have heard it.
Okay. So, AC power would do away with all those generators. Now, Edison was creating the generators and the current.
Right, that's where he gets his money.
That's where that's where that greedy bastard was at.
Yeah.
So, Edison started this smear campaign. He would. This is crazy.
Pap smear campaign?
No, just a regular smear campaign.
Smear.
Smear.
He would conduct public electrocutions with using AC power of stray cats and dogs to convince the American people that AC power was totally unsafe.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't he do an elephant too?
Okay, the very next line says he publicly electrocuted an elephant in front of a large crowd on Coney Island.
You piece of
Wow.
shit.
Yeah, I know.
How dare you? Elephants are my favorite animal.
Pachyderms are pretty cool.
Elephants, for me, they're so smart.
They are. They're adorable.
And they can paint.
I saw an elephant when I was in
Or run
Florida.
you over and smash you.
You saw an elephant in Florida?
Yes.
That's why Lexi wasn't here last week. She wasn't just late last week. She was in Florida.
I was
Florida.
I was very late last week.
I was the
So considering how late I was last week, how late I am this week is nothing.
True.
It's true.
Boca Raton, Florida.
No, we were at Pinellas Park near Clearwater.
Now say that with your accent.
We was in Pinellas Park, Florida.
Oh my gosh.
Pinellas Park, Boca Raton.
So after he electrocuted an elephant, because, everybody's seen an elephant in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So let's kill one. Let's kill one.
Right.
In 1890, he put together a publicity stunt to make AC power a quick and efficient killer.
Now, let me ask you this.
I did not finish. You just interrupted me.
I know.
Horribly.
What did they use to kill inmates? AC or DC?
Then,
Probably
there was no such thing. If you read...
Am I ahead of myself again?
Yes.
All right.
Just shut up, John.
John.
No, I can't.
John,
Go with the flow.
That's not going to happen.
John is mildly hungover.
Mildly, to put it.
And Stella.
Yeah.
That's hair of the dog right
hair
there.
of the dog.
So-
But you know what? I'm going to go grab another hair.
Did you finish that one already?
Don't judge me.
I am judging.
That is why he's like this.
If he goes away, I can get something done.
You could.
So,
Hurry up, quick.
so he came up with this publicity stunt.
Why are you talking so fast?
To make Tesla and Westinghouse look bad. He basically invented the electric chair.
Wow. He's great.
See, like 2 lines later. What did they use to kill inmates before? AC or DC?
Nothing.
Nothing, because he created the electric chair.
So really, so
I didn't hear
John,
who you said created the electric chair?
John,
Westinghouse?
Edison
Edison.
Edison.
So
hired a
the
man.
answer is, if Edison created it, that means that it ran off of DC power.
What?
Just so we're clear.
What?
If Edison created it,
No, he was trying to make Tesla and Westinghouse look bad.
I know, but he created it.
He had someone create it to make them look bad.
Oh, so he created it to run it on.
Yes,
to run an AC.
And AC to show how dangerous AC was.
That's when I was like, wait, what? Wait, hang on. He was like, no, wait, I got a better idea. Let's make a chair where you put a person in it. Like,
So-
what?
In response to all these false allegations and lies, Tesla went on a PR tour of his own. Don't do it.
Why?
Why
A
not?
chug hole. So he went on a PR tour of his own, and he would amaze crowds by passing millions of volts of AC electricity through his body to prove that the only downside of alternating current was a bad hair day.
Wait,
what?
What? How did he pass current through him without dying?
Because
Is it the way that they work?
it's not the voltage that kills you,
It's the amperage.
it's the amperage that kills you. So that's what he did. Low amps, high volts.
There's got to be more to it than that.
I'm sure there is, but he knew what he was doing and he didn't die. So, Edison arranged for a convicted murderer to be put to death in an AC-powered electric chair, just to show how dangerous Westinghouse's AC power could be. And Westinghouse just didn't lay back and let this happen. He hired the man to be killed. Oh, he got him a lawyer. He got the guy a lawyer, and he fought his execution all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Oh my God.
So he's paid. Westinghouse was paying for the guy's lawyer. Said, no, he's not going to be put to death.
No.
So you can make all the electric chairs you want. Eventually, he was sentenced to death. They placed him in a chair. They strapped the electrodes to him. Ran the current for 17 seconds. The current ran through his body. The two doctors determined this Kemmler. What was his name?
Kemmler.
William Kemmler was dead. And then someone yelled, "Great God, he's alive!" And he was breathing and his heart was still pumping.
Wow.
Someone else yelled, "Turn the current back on," and they did. So 4 minutes later, Kemmler was really dead. It took hours for his body to cool off. Can you imagine this?
Yeah, cooked hot dog.
He's sitting there. He's just smoking. They can't even touch him because he's so
hot.
so hot. When it was reported in the papers, they called the man a poor wretch. Like, they had pity on him because the guy was a murderer, but they had pity on him because of the way he died.
Yeah.
Westinghouse was horrified. And I just want to go on record as saying is, Percy, that's why you wet the sponge.
Yeah.
Wet the sponge.
I forgot to wet the sponge. They could have. Westinghouse was horrified. They said they could have done, they could have done a better job with an axe. So basically, it kind of backfired on Edison, but it really didn't because, like, the scene was horrific.
Yeah.
So Edison tried to play it off, saying the excitement caused some bungling, and I think when it's the next man placed into the chair to suffer the death penalty, that death will be accomplished instantly. So, well, the next guy, we'll get it right next time.
Yeah. Right.
And actually, they did. So, Edison offers some advice. The better way is to place hands in jars of water and let the current be turned on there. And that's why person needs to wet the sponge. So the current wars keep going on. These guys are going back and forth, and things were starting to take a financial hit on Westinghouse. And Edison was backed by J.P. Morgan, so like they had this shit ton of money behind them.
Yeah.
And Westinghouse was, it's starting to be a hurt piece on them. So Westinghouse went to Tesla and begged him to lower or temporarily rescind his royalties in order for the company to survive.
Oh, now you want my help.
Well, no, Westinghouse and Tesla were still working together at this point.
Yeah. They were still together.
Oh.
Westinghouse told Tesla, if I go bankrupt, you're not going to be able to collect any royalties anyway, so you might as well either rescind them or drop them. And in response, Tesla tore up the original contract on the spot. He said, here, if this will help, boom. In return, Westinghouse paid Tesla $216,000
Wow.
lump sum for the right to use his patents in perpetuity. That means forever.
That sucks.
Tesla was no businessman. I mean,
Yeah, you could see that.
like he could have just rescinded it for a year, the royalties,
Yeah.
and he would have come back and he would have been fine.
Almost
here
looks
we
like
are.
Westinghouse kind of took advantage of him too.
They let him.
Everybody says that, yes, but they are also at the end of this, when Tesla dies, there was no paperwork. There was no signed paperwork of this deal of him. So it was fought in court because there was no paperwork of this deal ever happening. They said he just ripped up his original contract, but there was no deal put in place that he gave up his right to the royalties. So there were some legal fights after he was
Right, sure the contract's gone, but I didn't say.
Well, he didn't have a chance to because
Right.
it was never an issue for him. For him, the issue was only, I want to invent shit. I
just need somebody to
I have a
do it.
legitimate want to help humanity.
Right.
And that was Tesla's thing.
Yeah.
So after this, he took that lump sum, he went out on his own, and he invented all kinds of crap. Electric oscillators, meters, improved lights, high voltage transformer known as the Tesla coil, which is what everybody knows Tesla for.
Yes, the Tesla coil.
The Tesla coil, and him standing in front of that big globe and the lightning bolts flying around.
Mm-hmm.
But that was his dream from the time he was a child, to have wireless electric transmission.
Yeah.
Which would be cool because we wouldn't lose power like we did in the last storm.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, he believed you could pull electricity out of the air.
Yes.
Everything would be wireless.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be surprised if someday we ever eventually got to that. But
well, what I have seen in current theoretical use is something called Li-Fi instead of Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi that is projected through lights.
Okay.
It's called Li-Fi.
Fried rice?
I read that in some science journal because that's what I do in my pastime is read science journals.
There were some commercials years ago that were trying to bring back DC power. They wanted to power. Do you remember those?
No.
And it was only for like a minute, and they wanted to bring back like everything in your house DC powered. Why? I don't know.
So you have to buy all new stuff.
Yeah, you would. You have to convert all your outlets, everything, the power coming in your house.
DC power is stupid.
DC power is its place.
Stupid. It's dumb.
No. There's a lot of low voltage stuff that's DC.
Chip.
Look! Oh my God! What is he doing?
You can get him. He might want to come down.
I want to go to John.
Don't lop your leg off on that machete.
I read.
I'm going to piss in your beer.
Oh, you want a true Mexican beer? I'm going to piss in your...
He's not kidding.
He's skittish today.
I told you he was going to pee in your beer.
What's wrong with him?
I was gone for a week. And I just left him for
You're
3 more hours.
You don't love me anymore. You never want to stay with me. And I'm not sure if I'm going to break your bones when I scratch you or what.
I am so little.
You're so frail.
He's so adorable.
Not really.
He's not cute.
What?
Everybody does. He's so cute. Welcome back to your mama. Yeah, come back to mama. Here, sit on my shirt. Come back.
So the Tesla coil is an electrical resonance transformer circuit. And he designed it in 1891. Produces high voltage, low current, high frequency alternating current electricity.
Which, by the way, that's how they're able to transmit power through the main power grid. The power lines
Yes.
is super high voltage, low current.
Right.
But that's what I was like kind of worried, because if I crawled up to a power line and I grabbed onto that motherfucker, I'd be dead.
If you grabbed onto one of them, you would not. If you touched two of them, you would.
I ain't gonna try it. I'll prove you wrong, you idiot.
Go
I'll show you why I'm a fucking squirrel.
Maybe we can finish the story.
He did experiments with X-rays, short-range radio communications. 2 years before Marconi did.
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
Del Toro.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro Marconi.
Yeah, that's what it looks like his name is.
He piloted a radio-controlled boat around a pool at Madison Square Garden. That's actually pretty cool. You're talking about 1891, an RC boat.
Yeah.
So, like, so many things are built off of that premise now. The same thing with
drones.
Yeah. But your remote control for your TV.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, anything that's battery powered is DC. Like your face shavers, drones. So it does, like you said, it has its place.
Your lawnmower 3.0.
This.
Some of them are rechargeable, though.
Still
right,
DC.
It's all
Is
DC.
it?
Yeah.
Still DC.
Why?
I don't know.
Why haven't we come past this?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Because it's a battery, there's no need for the electricity to go back to anything.
Wouldn't it make it more efficient?
No.
Like run better?
No.
You sure?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I could be right. We don't know.
You're not.
I could be.
Yeah.
Hey guys, let's look into getting rid of DC power entirely.
But listen, if there was never this, we'd never have the great band AC/DC.
Right.
Just saying.
Or Tesla.
It would be a different Tesla. It would be this Tesla.
Let me ask you this: does the Tesla car company have anything to do with Tesla?
I honestly don't know.
Do you know who owns the Tesla car company?
Yes. Elon Musk.
Yeah, I was like...
He's not Croatian.
No, he's just a weirdo. And what a slap in the face, because if he's using Tesla and battery operated is all DC, what the fuck? You see what I mean?
I do. It is a smack in the face. We should find Elon Musk and smack him in the face.
Wait, but isn't he also the one who's trying to make the roads that charge the cars?
Yes.
So that's AC.
No.
Well,
You just can't step on the roads.
well, honestly, I think
No, you can. It'd be magnetic.
I think Elon Musk is kind of like Tesla in the fact that
He's an innovator.
he wants to do good for humanity.
That's why I think he used the name.
Okay.
Okay, I see that.
A little slap in the face.
A little
I
slap
don't
in the
think it
face, but a
was-
high five at the same time.
Yeah.
He tried to high five Tesla, missed and smacked him.
I don't think I don't
So
like.
sorry.
Oh, my fault.
I don't think it's so much what he created; it's what he stood for.
That makes sense.
You
Elon
know?
Musk also wants to bore tunnels underneath Los Angeles, and so you could basically it's like that tube like you see in the old days
To sink it,
from like the bank, and they sent
the
they still do-
vaults.
yeah, like so you would go in this tube and you would get
Oh,
It's
like
called
that.
a subway, John. A
no,
subway.
no, it's not a subway. You take your car down there.
Oh, put it in the tube,
It's not
And
a
they get-
tube, but like you can
like a
just
little-
go in and like it just it's
and
like that.
it sucks on you.
It sucks on you,
It gets your foreskin rumpled.
and then you don't have a bad hair day.
Right.
You just
Anyways.
pay 3 foreskins and you're done.
Yeah, 3, but you keep the 4th one for yourself.
Gross.
So, Tesla and Westinghouse lit the 1891 World Columbian Exposition in Chicago.
Yes.
And the whole time, Edison is trying to undermine them and, like, it was they couldn't use his light bulb, so that's why Tesla
Yep.
improved the light bulb, and then he could use the light bulb because it wasn't the same one.
Yeah.
Like he was doing all this stuff to make them look bad, and
he was just going with it. He's like, all right, I'll make something new.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing.
Like every obstacle that was placed in this guy's way,
he just overcame it.
Yep.
With his big old brain.
So in 1895, in the building where Tesla's lab was, a fire started in the basement.
Oh, weird.
And the fire was burned so hot that the fourth floor where his lab was crashed down to the second floor. It was melting beams. It was ugly.
How did that happen?
They didn't say.
Uh-huh.
But it destroyed years and years of notes and equipment and experiments. So after that fire, he left New York, went to Colorado Springs for a couple of years, but then he returned to New York in 1900.
Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Did you
80995
mention anything about the World's Fair?
Yes.
That's what we literally just talked about.
You drunk fuck. Right here.
I just remember the Family Guy thing where they were at a fair or whatever, and there's this old guy, and he's like pulling on this chain, and the light, light comes on, off, on, off. The kid looks at him, he's like, "Where? I nearly crap my pants when they saw this for the first time."
So this is the time where he gets backing, and the plan was to build a global communications network centered around a giant tower in Wardenclyffe, Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
J.P. Morgan gave him financial backing for it. So he's building this, but the whole time, while Tesla was working on wireless communications, his real goal was wireless electricity transmission, long range.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it got to the point where Marconi had sent a message a long distance. I don't know exactly how long, but his Tesla's plan was to send it to Europe from the United States. I don't know how far Marconi went, but J.P. Morgan went to him and said, "Hey, where are we at on this communications thing?" He goes, "Well, we've had some obstacles, and then we're getting close, but we're really close to sending electricity wirelessly." And J.P. Morgan said, "I don't think I have any more money for your project."
God, if they would have just finished that and let him do his thing.
I know. So, he had all these. Tesla had all this debt he had to pay off now, so they had to scrap the tower was scrapped. I think the building still stands where it was, but the tower itself is long gone. But I thought it was made of wood, and they keep saying scrap, like as if you're scrapping scrap metal. I mean,
maybe it's scrap wood.
I guess, I don't know. Barnwood, builders, whatever.
Like maybe they mean scrap as in like garbage. Well,
he was trying to satisfy his debt, so it was demolished for scrap. I don't know. So yeah, the building itself, other buildings have been added onto the complex, and 16 acres, but the building itself still stands today.
Wow.
But the tower is long gone. I think when we were talking about this, you asked me if the tower was still there.
Yeah, you said it was wooden.
I thought it was, but they tore it down, so the tower's gone. I think someone built a replica.
Probably.
But I don't know for sure, because I have a picture someplace of a guy standing in front of the exact same looking tower. So I don't know. So in 1891, at the age of 35, Tesla became a United States citizen. That's the same year he patented his Tesla coil. So Tesla coil is the one thing that everybody knows about Tesla. But there was this thing right here, which we're going to talk about, that I had heard about, and that's what made me interested in Tesla himself. Not so much the Tesla coil, because everybody knows that.
Right.
Everybody knows the AC power thing. But Tesla created a small steam-powered machine It was a little oscillator that they called the earthquake machine. Yeah.
If you just hold this up to the bottom of the building, it's going to fall down.
Well, exactly. That's exactly what it was. But he attached this, supposedly, to his laboratory at 48 East Hudson Street, New York, that the neighbors were so alarmed by the vibration that they thought an earthquake was happening. And
either that or Tesla was getting down.
So this thing was small enough to go in his pocket, though. That's the thing. This wasn't like, it was a pocket rocket.
Oh my God.
He put it in his pocket with his foreskins.
Why does it look like a penis? Shut up!
Are you done? You're
No.
such a child. So he put his little...
and I'm the child.
I can't get through this sentence.
He put his little pocket rocket back in his pocket.
He put his little vibrator in his coat pocket and went on hunt for a half-erect steel building. So he was down in the Wall Street district. He found one, 10 stories of steel framework without any brick or stone on it. He clamped the vibrator to one of the beams.
What are you doing, you little pervert? Get out of there.
And he fussed with the adjustments until he got it. Now, supposedly this thing, if you take a vibrator and the resonant frequency of the vibrator is at whatever matches the resonant frequency of the metal, because everything has its own vibration. Everything goes off.
Have an orgasm?
Christ.
Or you fall down, one or the other. Or everyone in the building will have an
So anyway, he messed with this thing. But Tesla finally got the God.
I'm gonna zip it.
Finally got the structure to begin to creak and weave. The steelworkers came down out of panic, believing it had been an earthquake. The police were called out. Tesla put the vibrator back in his pocket and went away. They say it.
You actually wrote vibrator?
That's what dude. That's what it was.
I'm sorry.
They said if it had been on for 10 more minutes, the building would have came down to the ground.
Whew.
It is thought that if it were powerful enough, his machine could match the Earth's resonant frequency and cause worldwide earthquakes.
Interesting. I wonder if it could also prevent it.
Well, that's why he built it. He didn't build it to destroy things. He built it to see if you could match the resonant frequency of a solid structure, and if it could be used to prevent catastrophes.
Right.
So, like many other things, some things were not built for destruction, but end up being used for that.
Right.
He also came up with something called the thought camera.
Don't like that.
Tesla believed it could be possible to photograph thoughts. The inspiration came while he was doing an experiment in 1893. Tesla told a newspaper reporter decades later, "I became convinced that a definite image formed in thought must reflect action and produce a corresponding image on the retina, which might be possible to be read by a suitable apparatus." So basically, you have a dream, the dream is in your eye, and they can read it from your eye.
Mm-hmm.
That would be crazy.
But if now, some sci-fi movies have done just that.
Yeah.
Like, I have some crazy ass dreams.
Yeah,
Right? I've already told you some of my shit.
you don't want nobody reading your dreams.
Weirdo.
The inventor was convinced the reflection of the image would be on the artificial retina, taking a photograph and projecting the image to a screen. If this couldn't be done successfully, the objects imagined by a person could clearly be reflected on a screen as they were formed, which would be kind of cool. And they could read your mind like an open book. I also have the artificial tidal wave. I did not read this one. I don't know what this one was about. Basically, is exactly what it says. It would create an artificial tidal wave that would detonate high explosives of sea, generate a tidal wave so vast it would capsize entire fleets. Newspapers reported that artificial tidal wave would make navies as useless as paper boats. Whew. Or babies.
Paper boats that float in babies' bathtubs.
Oh, okay.
That babies float in bathtubs. Whatever. Baby boats.
The next one is the electric-powered supersonic airship. From the time Tesla was born, he was a boy, fascinated by the idea of flight. Combining his knowledge with electrical and mechanical engineering, he began to think more about aviation after his failure at Wardenclyffe. In an article in 1919 issue of Reconstruction magazine, Tesla discussed his work on developing a supersonic aircraft that would travel 8 miles above the surface of the Earth, generate speeds allowing passengers to travel between New York and London in 3 hours. The concept for the aircraft to be powered by electrical transmission wirelessly from power plants on the ground. So he still did not give up his dream of...
Whose phone is
That was not mine.
Mine is not turned on.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
I see.
the witching hour for John.
Yes.
The power supply is versus...
It's you! You texted me.
1 day ago.
Yeah, I told you how fucked up my phone is.
What kind of phone do you
I
have?
sent that a day and a half ago.
I just got it now.
Jesus.
Now, do you believe me?
I always believed that you were fucked up.
True.
Okay, power supply is virtually unlimited as any number of power plants could operate together, supplying energy to airships just as trains running on tracks are now supplied with electrical energy through rails or wires. So he wanted to create a supersonic aircraft that would suck energy from the sky to help it fly.
Just like that.
Now the next one is another one of the cool ones, and I don't know how many people know this, but he created what they termed a death beam, or Tesla believed it to be a peace beam. It would foil attacks by airplanes and invading armies, and basically, this is the basis for the Strategic Air Missile Defense, or Star Wars program from the 80s.
No. Okay.
Like this whole idea is what Star Wars is about.
Yes.
A particle beam weapon.
Okay, just you're good.
So, the end of Tesla's life is kind of sad. He was broke. He lived in a little hotel room. He still worked on his inventions, but all he did was live in this little hotel room and go out and feed the pigeons who he claimed were talking to him.
You know, it's just crazy. For somebody who's so smart, were they really talking to him? Or was he just going crazy?
Maybe they were. Who knows?
Well, because, like, here's the thing, is that he also had underlying issues. Like, he obviously had, like, OCD.
Oh, you missed the first part because you were late? When we were talking about his OCD and his...
Okay, but I just want to say, having not heard that, that was a very good deduction.
Yeah. He had a preoccupation with the numbers 3, 6, and 9.
Yes.
Anything divisible by 3. He would walk around a building 3 times before he walked through the front door.
Yeah.
So
it was weird.
So
he obviously had other underlying issues, so that just like that kind of stuff goes untreated, and like he was just like left alone with very little, and he probably kind of went crazy.
So the end of his life, Westinghouse actually paid for his apartment, gave him a small stipend, and just to make sure he wasn't completely impoverished, but he was still withholding patents that Tesla had claims on. So he died in 1943.
Wow.
And that same year, later, the Supreme Court voided 4 of Marconi's key patents, blatantly acknowledging that they were Tesla's invention in radio.
Oh, that sucks so bad.
The AC system he championed and improved remains the global standard for power transmission. Westinghouse paid for his apartment in later years and gave him a modest stipend.
So they kind of felt guilty.
So also, there's some more intrigue after he died as well. The Tesla papers.
Mm-hmm.
You know about this?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, touch on it.
No, you go ahead. I know about it. I don't know enough to like.
So there was this.
Make it make sense.
All his papers and stuff, including what everybody wanted, was a death ray.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted a death ray.
Yeah, didn't the FBI like raided his apartment after he died?
And they
took like 3 trunks.
They confiscated the steamer trunks, and then Croatia. He had a nephew or a cousin in Croatia who was making claims on the estate, and the government held him up in court for as long as they could while they could go through all the papers and pull out any. And there's actually a separate documentary just on the Tesla papers, which I found really interesting. Nobody knows for sure what happened to the trunk, though.
Well, there's a History Channel had a show on, and it was like it was called the Tesla Files, and
I remember that. I didn't watch it though.
It was stupid. It's like every other fucking History Channel show where they like Oak Island.
Oh yeah, I like those though.
I love them, but
they go on and on and on. They find nothing.
Damn it!
I found this screw. It's an amazing discovery. Oh, it's just a screw.
The Oak Island one, they did find a lot of really cool artifacts and stuff, coins, leg crosses. But anyways, it's like the same. They drag it out forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
And
it's like that Zodiac one that we watched.
Yeah.
That I was trying to tell you about while you were watching it.
So like the Americans go to Croatia, they go to this museum, and the guy basically shuts them down. He's like, no, we don't have the trunks. He let them leave. They had to have the trunk. They could see what was inside of them, and then he's like, no. And then we're like, well, do you really have them? And so it was like, a controversy. Does this guy really have the trunks?
Some of the trunks were turned over to the guy in Croatia.
Or is he just lying about it?
But there was one that just disappeared. Nobody knows what happened to it.
I bet the FBI has it.
Well, supposedly there's some kind of research lab in Ohio, and in the documentary, this guy worked at this research lab, and he said that the stuff that they were researching was most definitely based on Tesla's work.
Like the death ray that's based on the Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that's one of the things he was talking about, the strategic air missile defense system.
Right.
And he said that there's no doubt in his mind that was based on Tesla's work.
Right.
And that was the stuff that was in that trunk. So, the guy had an amazing life. He came to United States. He is the consummate American success and failure story.
Well, I remember watching the show on him years ago, and they said that when he was a young man in Croatia, he was sitting on a park bench feeding his pigeons, and he envisioned the 3-phase motor.
Yes.
And
that's what I was talking about.
He saw it in his brain, then he wrote it on paper, and it fucking worked.
It was what he envisioned was the Niagara Falls power station.
That's crazy.
Like he envisioned the entire building and everything as a child, and that is amazing.
Yeah.
Like
he made all of his creations come to life.
But think about, we talked about this before you got here because you were late. All the inventions, 80% of the technology we have now can be rooted back to Tesla's work.
Yes. Did you guys talk about steampunk?
No, we didn't. Do you have something I don't have in my research?
So there is kind of like in the same group where people who dress up and go to Renaissance fairs, people who go to anime conventions, stuff like that. There's a subsect of these people that make costumes, and it's called steampunk.
I know what steampunk is.
Yeah. So that's all based, that was all created from Tesla. That's all based around that. That's what that is all like.
Well, steampunk is Victorian age this time.
Yes. With
a modern twist.
Kind of futuristic.
Yes. Mechanics, and there's lots of gears and coils, the Edison bulbs.
Yeah.
stuff like that. So like it's like all.
I actually love steampunk.
Yeah, me too. But that's like all. Like a lot of that's like not all of it, but a lot of it's created from like ideas around just like his aesthetic, like the way that like his inventions look, stuff like that.
Like remote controls, remote communication, two-way radio. A lot of that stuff would not exist, or maybe we wouldn't be as advanced as we are without the innovation from Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
And like I said, everybody knows what a Tesla coil. Everybody knows what a Tesla coil is.
Mm-hmm.
They're really cool, and it is cool. But I think some of the other stuff he invented,
it's so cool.
The improvements he made in DC power still, even though that wasn't his jam, that affected the world in a positive way as well.
If it weren't for him, I guarantee you would not have power here.
No, because all those DC, you'd have to have a DC generator at every house out here.
And I mean, half the people up here would never have any. Who's going to run a fucking generator in the woods somewhere?
Exactly.
With wires dangling all over the fucking place.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the life.
So you can thank Nikola Tesla for this podcast.
Yes.
Or you can curse him for it. Either one. Like I said, leave us a review on iTunes, and if you're going to make a shitty review, make it a 5-star shitty review.
Yeah. Oh boy, 5 stars for the podcast therapy dog.
If nothing else, if you could only see his face through radio.
If only. He's adorable. My favorite boy.
So that is the life and times of Nikola Tesla.
There we go.
I'm sure we missed a lot, and if we missed something...
No, we hit it all. We didn't miss nothing.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Not one thing.
If we missed something important, shoot us an email at takeontheworld411@gmail.com.
Or don't. I don't like being corrected, so...
I really can't be corrected, so... You can correct John. John always wrong.
John's always wrong.
I was wrong once. I thought I was wrong, but I wasn't.
You were mistaken. So that's this week's episode on Nikola Tesla. He died a sad, lonely old man in the end.
Poor guy.
Well, at least he wasn't keeping jars of urine in his basement.
He was doing what he loved.
Like,
that's what's important.
The Aviator.
Yeah. Howard Hughes.
That's going to be another one.
Howard Hughes is a huge. This is a huge topic, really. I mean, if we had touched on we glanced over a lot of stuff, but we had touched on everything. Oh.
Yeah.
So that is it for this week. We took on Nikola Tesla. Now you go take on the world, and don't get electrocuted by AC power.
Hold on, stop. Welcome back to the Shit Show 2.0.
Okay, Boomer.
Damn millennials. Wow.
Did not know that. Even flirters who are obviously mentally ill.
Oh, this is gonna go downhill real quick.